New Earth Day. New day on Earth. Last night my sleep was redeemed. It was completely redeemed. Not only did I sleep better, the sun has already risen right now. I slept way later. Usually I'm up before the sun rises. And I was laying in my bed in peace for a little while and just enjoying the moment. Soon have to travel. And well, it's a bad phrasing. It's not that I have to travel. It's more like I want to travel, and even more so like I get to travel. My main goal so far has been making sure I understand what it's like to live in a vehicle. Because if I were to just jump in my vehicle and travel somewhere and then show up and be like, oh, I'm sleeping here now, that wouldn't be giving very much courtesy to myself. So now I'm starting to understand what it's like to live in a vehicle. I know the struggles, I know the strategies. So today's Friday. I'll spend the next 3 days in preparation. Then I'll probably head out on Monday. That way I can continue to go to church on Sunday, the Sabbath. I forgot to mention that I maintained my fast last night. And there really wasn't much temptation. I wasn't tempted to eat any food. And this morning I woke up in kind of like a state of euphoria. I felt incredible. And I was thinking about why. And it was because I got a good night's sleep last night. And it was because my gut health was better from having fasted. My gut biome was in a better environment. But honestly, the main thing is the act of having accomplished what it is that I set out to do. I made a decision yesterday to fast, and despite any temptations coming up, the fast was completed, as when I made it through the night. And when I get to about 2 p.m. today, that'll be a 24-hour fast. And I'm gonna see how I feel, because I might continue it forward. I might fast throughout the day as well, because I don't know, I don't think I realized the extent to which my body is in a state of disease because of the state of my gut, the state of my stomach health. And it's not really even dramatic to say that when you fast and when you clean out your gut health, your gut biome, to an extent, you kind of feel like a new person. You kind of feel reborn. I don't know, so I think it's healthy. I think it's really healthy to do. The other thing I've been thinking about is traveling and where I want to travel to, and trying to decide what would be a good location. And I'm thinking about going north before I go south, because when it comes to the winter time, I'll certainly have to go south, maybe even southwest, or to Florida. But nonetheless, I need to be back in Indiana by November, middle of November. So I think I'll go north first and then slingshot my way down. But I've also been thinking about going to Nashville, so I'm trying to decide that at the moment. And I'm at a coffee shop. I just wrote for an hour. One of the things I was thinking about while I was writing was when I turn this camera on and start speaking to it, it's like my mind goes into a different paradigm. It's like there's pressure. And I think there's a balance between confidence and arrogance, and on the side of arrogance there's also insecurity. And so that pressure that I'm alluding to, it certainly comes from something like insecurity. It certainly is an attempt to overcompensate, because I do have confidence and I am confident, but if the confidence bar is right here, it's like maybe it could be maxed out right here, and so like this, that gap is insecurity. That gap is being filled with overcompensation, insecurity. So that is the pressure that I feel when I turn on a camera. And I think it's because, not that I think that it's because, I know it's based on the fact that I am not all that I could be. I could be a better man, and I know that I could be a better man, certainly. But it's also practice. And this is to turn on a camera and just start talking to it, like anything else, it's not, you're going to be inadequate, and there's going to be discomfort. That's kind of why I like it as well. The discomfort is incredibly important. So, the day, it's still raining outside. I would like to do a podcast, but I cannot ruin my equipment. That's worst case scenario. I definitely am not willing to ruin my equipment. So I'm about to go back in this coffee shop and continue to write. No, I won't continue to write. I don't know what I'll do, but I'm kind of trying to discern this fast and whether or not I should continue the fast. And it certainly would not make sense to work out if I'm going to fast. So I'm going to go into this coffee shop and just enjoy the day. It is Friday. I'm going to enjoy the day at this point. But good things will get done nonetheless. Good things will get done. What kind of demon statue is that? Who would spend the time making a statue? I thought it was a real cat, demon cat. All right, making food. I have a cooler. And my cooler's too big. My cooler's too big. I almost want to cry right now. I want to cry in gratitude, because I have a whole meal ahead of me. And when you spend time not eating, it makes you appreciate food so much more. That's what I was trying to get at earlier, also in regards to insecurity, confidence, humility. There's certain things that you do, and when you do them, it makes you want to be a better person. It makes you want to, like, for example, the barrier that I was describing earlier of when you turn on a camera and then you go into a certain paradigm. There's you, there's the world, and there's like a window between you and the world, and that window is foggy. meaning the world can't see your true self. And that fog is insecurities. And it's insecurities that you put out there because you don't want to show your true self. So I tried to make that window not foggy. Try to just make it very clear. And everybody's kind of on that same journey to an extent. Themselves, not necessarily regarding a camera, just regarding other people. There's like a barrier between who they really are and the image that they try to put into the world. Life is obviously too short. There's really no consequence. You just gotta be yourself. There's no consequences to being your true self unless you're doing crime. So certainly don't do crime. Just be good. Just be a good person. And show your true self. Yes. So fasting, training, that's what I was talking about the other day in regards to going to mass. There's a bunch of things that you can do in life that when you do them, it's purifying, it's sobering, it makes you want to be a better version of yourself. And if you can stack a bunch of those activities in your day, that is the way. Stack as little of the immediate gratification things, meaning the short-term things, get those out of there. Those activities that are gratifying in the short term, and instead do hard things. Hard things that are hard in the moment, but it's paradoxical because I don't know, it makes, I wouldn't even say the future better. It's like this meal that I'm eating right now. I appreciate this meal so much more because I overcame the struggle of the temptation of wanting to break my fast. And so now I'm so grateful. And I'm bringing back maple syrup into my nutrition. Because regarding what I should eat and what I shouldn't eat, my main focus is as little ingredients as possible. So the maple syrup has one ingredient, it's maple syrup. It's not pancake syrup, that's fake. Certainly not pancake syrup, it's actual maple syrup. And it's the same with honey too. It's just honey. Beef is just beef. So I'm trying to simplify what it is I put into my body. And when I consume simple ingredients, there's not chaos in my gut. Because when there is chaos in your gut, you can't help but give it attention. So now, rather than focus on what's important, you can't help but be focused on the pain within your stomach. And after a while, you've been eating bad for so long, the pain in your stomach is kind of just part of who you are. And you don't even realize that your body is in disease and your body has a bunch of nutrients that really aren't even nourishing, so they're not really nutrients, it's just matter within your body that your body doesn't know what to do with. So that's my nutrition aspirations. Simple ingredients, and when it becomes bland, fast. Just don't eat anything. But I'm so grateful to be eating this meal. Praise God. Life for us It's a hard knock life for us. Instead of treated, we get tricked. Instead of kisses, we get kicked. I realized the point that I was trying to make earlier, which is that I want everyone to win. I truly do, in my heart, want everyone to win, but I don't always act like it. As in, I want my friends to win, certainly. I want my family to win, certainly, but do I want the world to win? Do I want the stranger to win? And I think part of me in my mind, I look out in the world, I see a lot of suffering, I see a lot of corruption, and you can get a certain type of pleasure, catharsis, from watching the world burn. And I just saw an individual in a wheelchair with one leg. Obviously, I'm not going to record him. But I walked over to his proximity. I tried to stand by him to see if he wanted to interact. He rolled away. He did not want to interact. But I was like, I mean, he was drinking a beer, and I was like, man, that life has him so strangled like a python. What do you do in that situation? I'm assuming he's homeless, but nonetheless, drinking a beer in a wheelchair with one leg. I want him to win. I want him to win. And I didn't know what I could do in that moment. There's really nothing I can do. I can talk to him. And sometimes I feel like a lesser person, not a good person, because I don't interact with that individual. I didn't interact with that individual, at least. I tried to. But I didn't have anything to get him. I feel like he needed something. He seemed angry, distressed, distraught. Yet he wasn't asking for money. I don't know. It's a balance of wanting to see the world win, wanting to see redemption for everyone. Not to say that people are losing, but wanting to see redemption for everyone. And the point is, there's a ton of people like that. And yes, people make errors, people put themselves in bad situations, but how are you gonna fault that guy? I don't know his life, but he's got one leg. I don't know. I just see a lot of that in the world, and it's difficult to watch, difficult to see, especially if I'm not doing anything about it. So then I feel like I should do something about it, but I don't know what I could do about it. So that's the point I've been trying to make all day with my ramblings, is that in my heart, I do want everybody to win. Sometimes I manifest something more like resentment towards the world. But maybe that's because I see myself as less than. That's my own insecurity. And there's nothing I could do. It's not like I could help everyone. I don't know. Ramblings. It's a hard knock life. Just start singing. Alright, nonetheless, I ate food earlier, and I was in the same predicament. It was really, really good for like a pound and a half, or yeah, probably a pound and a half. But I had 2 pounds of ground beef total, and I could not stomach the remaining half of a pound. And I've been trying to pretty much eat almost all of my calories in one meal. Excuse me, because I don't want to cook 2 meals. I don't want to go to a place where I have to cook a meal in the afternoon, then do it again in the evening. So I have to develop better strategies around eating. because I can't stomach 2 pounds of meat in one sitting. It's just not good. So I need to discover / create / build better strategies around nutrients and reincorporate fasting. Oddly, you don't really lose weight when you fast. I was essentially the same weight, so that's fascinating. Right. So, the day is winding down. That food that I ate too much of it. It kind of threw me into something like a cataclysm, internal cataclysm of not my stomach, but my energy levels. I felt like you would feel after a Thanksgiving dinner, and now I feel good. And that's it. That's really all. We're out here grinding. We need to travel soon. I'm still up in the air as to whether I'll go north or south. Yet to be determined. Yet to be determined. All right, quick update with the man with one leg. He actually, when I made it back over to him, he's right over there. He's got friends around him now, so it's extremely positive. And some women walked by him, and he was talking to the women. So it's not a matter of he's lonely and lonely and angry and doesn't want to talk to anybody. He just doesn't want to talk to me because he wants to talk to some women. It's good. It's hard out here for a pimp. It's hard out here for a pimp.